before the adjournment, we wanted to verify what this witness said. It was put to this witness that he testified in cross-examination by Mr. Ramosepeli on of accused number 1 and 2, that each accused introduced themselves. We checked our note on this matter, my lord. The witness did testify that it's Gwabeni who did the introduction.
Yeah, look.
Really, the record will speak for itself. We just want to put that on record.
What does your record say? We haven't discussed him with your learned colleague, Mr. Baloi, didn't you?
No, we didn't discuss.
Oh, you didn't? You want to ambush him?
As it please the court, my lord. Indeed, I do agree with my colleague that the record will speak on itself, because something totally different.
Let's on those bases, because all of us have a running record.
Yes, my lord. Yes.
Okay, thanks.
My lord, it will then be in the interest of justice that I make the following submission, my lord. The court will remember that just before we could adjourn, I took this witness through the photos with a view to try and find some clarifications on answers on certain issues that were of concern to me on behalf of accused number 3. So it transpires, my lord, that I am hamstrung to proceed with my cross-examination without further information relating to the photos. It will be recalled, my lord, that we had a testimony of I think it was Steenekamp, Mr. Mabaso, and Mr. Nkosi, who said that they confiscated accused number 3's phone, from which they downloaded, from which they found a whole lot of photos, and they downloaded them into a disk. On the instruction of Mr. Kininda, certain photos were then compiled for the court purposes, if I'm able to follow that trajectory, my lord. In other words, Mr. Kininda, out of maybe 500 photos, he said, no, I don't want these 500 photos. I only need photos where accused number 3 is appearing with his dreadlocks and a particular color of attire. But the essence of which is, my lord, that it was not only those photos that we are now seeing here at court. There are other photos as well. This is also on the analogy of what happened to Mr. Musia when he testified. Remember the court, my lord, Mr. Musia only brought to court only 8 photos, but it then transpired that he took at the scene more than 30 photos. That is the analogy of the request, my lord. I'm also going to request that we also be furnished with the disk that contains all the photos that were taken, that were downloaded from accused number 3's phone. Alternatively, that we be furnished with accused number 3's phone. We will then sort it out how we download those photos. This is not from me, my lord. It is actually from Mr. Kuno, the gentleman that I'm representing, my lord. We will request that information, because as of now, I'm definitely not in a position to proceed on his behalf to proceed to cross-examine this witness without those photos being made available, my lord. Thank you. That is my request and application, my lord.
Mr. Baloi?
As a court, please, my lord, indeed, certain photos were selected for the purpose of compiling the photo album. It is not a problem. We can make arrangements that all the photos that were downloaded on accused number 3's cell phone be made available. However, the only problem that we have, my lord, is not continue with the matter. I think the aspect can stand down, and other issues can be canvassed with this witness. And just like we did with Warrant Officer Musia, we proceeded, and he was recalled at a later stage. We can make a similar arrangement that we proceed, and that aspect regarding the photos stand down. and we furnish them with the all the photos, and if they deem it necessary at a later stage, this witness can be recalled.
But when can the photos be supplied? The master tape,
Yes.
disc.
Yeah, I think it can be those arrangements can be made before the end of this week, my lord. Today's Wednesday. I'm sure at the latest by Friday, those photos can be made available.
But Mr. Mnisi says he's hamstrung.
Yes.
He's quoting him.
Yes, but
You know, when a horse is hamstrung,
yes,
it can't run.
yes. Just on that particular aspect of the photo, but I would imagine there are other issues that they want to canvass with which don't necessarily depend on the photos. We can then proceed on those other aspects.
Yes, Mr. Mnisi?
It's a sequence, my lord. It's a sequence. The way in which we structure our cross-examination, my lord, we just don't do it haphazardly. It's a sequential thing. We don't move from 1 to number 7. We move from 1, we go to 2, we go to 3, we go to 4, up until number 7. Therefore, to request us to proceed on other items, my lord, what these witnesses said, I don't think that's the trajectory that we want to take for now, my lord. We want to take it sequentially up to the point at which we want to arrive, my lord. Thank you.
Yeah, fine, thanks. Where's Mr. Mnisi, where is your client's phone?
I'm not sure, my lord. The last time I heard is that it was confiscated for purposes of compiling the photo album that I've been.
Mr. Baloyi, where's
I can quickly.
accused number 3's phone?
Yes, I would imagine it's still in the SAP13 store.
You can,
It can be made available.
it can be used for downloading the photos. The memory
yes,
has
but-
not been wiped off.
Yes, yes, yes. But I think I would imagine that process, they'll have to get their own expert who can download that. But I think the easiest would be then just to get those photos
Yeah.
and, make them available to them if they still want access to the phone.
Okay, fine. Where's Brigadier Gananda? Where is he?
He is
Can't he
at
give
his
the-
office. Yes,
The defense the photos tonight, today,
yes. I've
so
just
that tomorrow we proceed.
yes, I've just asked a member of the investigating team to quickly call him just
Yeah.
to find out if those photos cannot be made available today.
And in the meantime, Mr. Mnisi doesn't want to proceed. He says his cross-examination is structured sequential.
Well, as we've made our point in this regard.
The other counsels,
We can't take it any
what's
further
your
than
view,
that.
Mr. Ramsey-Pedi?
As the court is my lord, I do fully concur with Mr. Mnisi because it will also necessitate me, based on what we find on those other photos, to also now again perhaps ask questions to the witness that's before court, my lord.
Mr. Ngamalo?
My lord, I also follow the same approach of my colleague Advocate Mnisi because it's also going to be central to the photo album exhibit S. Hence, we need the disc. Thank you.
Mr. Sholes?
My lord, it will be unfair and prejudicial to proceed with the trial when the state has not and has failed to supply us with all information, my lord. So it will be prejudicial and unfair for us to proceed with the trial without being supplied with that information.
No, let's be fair to the state. The state takes 1,000 photos.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's make that example. And the charge, as it's structured, only needs the state, according to their view, to utilize 200 of those photos.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Baloyi consults obviously with the investigating officer, am I correct, before you come to court?
Indeed, my lord.
Right. And this is the structure of their case. And in terms of the law, remember State versus Shabalala. Shabalala versus the Attorney General of the Transvaal, 1995-12. Okay. He supplies you with all that information which he has structured this case upon. It's Mr. Mnisi now who comes and says, He wants all the photos. That's why I say you can't say he foresaw that application. He didn't. But Mr. Mnisi is entitled to those photos. He wants to use them because they are part of the information which he wants to elicit.
Accused number 5 also, my lord, because he has been referred to one of the photos which is contained in Exhibit S, my lord. So he also needs to.
No, this court is fair.
And there are further instructions that I cannot place on record, my lord, which
What?
regarding the content of Exhibit S, of which we need to verify with the electronic copy or from the disk, Exhibit X with the disk. Thank you, my lord. That's my submission.
How many discs are there? It's only the master disk.
Well,
They were downloaded.
as usual,
One.
you have the
And then you
master
make
copy
copies.
and the working copy.
Yeah. Okay, for those reasons, this court is prepared to postpone this matter to tomorrow.
Ngaphansi kwaleso sizathu-ke inkantolo izimisele ukuthi ihlelisele kuqala
So that the defense must have access to the master copy of the disk.
ukuze-ke ihlangothi lokuyivikela okanye abamayeli babommangalelwa bakwazi ukuthi babe nayo-ke i-master copy yaleyo disk.
Because the state concedes that some of those photos, 47, 48 for instance, were downloaded from the accused's cell phone.
Baba umbuso usenjalo-ke ukuthi iy'thombe ey'fana no-47 no-48 zadownloadwa-ke uqhamuka kule foni kammangalelwa
Together with other photos.
nezinye-ke iy'thombe.
But Mr. Mnisi is hamstrung because accused number 3's cell phone has been confiscated by the state.
Baba umnisi-ke ubabeke izandla akakwazi ukuthi angaqhubeka ngoba phela-ke ifoni kammangalelwa wesithathu ithathwe umbuso.
Consequently, the only source of the photos which we have, or both sources of the photos, the master copy and the cell phone of the accused 3, are with the investigating team.
Kanti-ke okuyikhona-ke umnyombo walezi y'thombe kubanjiwe-ke khona laphana-ke kulona ophenya icala.
Okay, and then for those reasons, the court is amenable to extending. Yeah?
As it is the court, I'm not abusing the court process. I'm saying I'm not standing up to abuse the court process, but I would really appreciate it, my lord, if we can be handed over with the disk and also the phone as well, my lord. I'm not so sure if the state will be in a position to do that. Thank you, my lord.
You know what, I've got my view about that, and I don't want to say, for instance, I could say, is the state only interested in that phone because of this case only? Are you with me? Can you read what I'm saying? Are you hearing me?
Indeed, my lord.
So, is that the position or not?
Well, we can ask that the phone be brought to court, and perhaps if they need to examine that, should be in the presence of the state's analyst here in court. That shouldn't be a problem.
So you call the analyst also?
Yes, they can have a look at it in the presence of Surgeon Mabasa, who testified.
So is that okay, Mr. Mnisi?
I think that will be very okay, my lord. Thank you.
Okay, then the analyst also will have to come to court with number 3 cell phone. The other counsels, your client's phones were not confiscated and downloaded.
My lord, if I may take quick instructions from our accused number 1 and 2.
Also, accused number 4, thank you.
You haven't asked your clients whether their phones are confiscated or not.
It is a verification. According to the knowledge I have, they were not confiscated.
Yeah,
I just
okay.
have to verify. Thank you.
Yes?
Yeah, we can just mention that the phones of accused number 2 and 5 were confiscated,
Yes.
and that the downloads have just been completed. We'll be handing the downloads to the defense during recess. So 2 and 5 phones were confiscated and downloaded. I did inform my colleagues, especially counsel for accused number 5.
Okay. So your client, Mr. Cholo, oh sorry, Mr. Nxumalo.
Thank you, my lord, for the court's indulgence. His phone was not confiscated. Thank you.
Okay. Did he have it on his presence when they arrested him?
No, he did not have it.
It figures. Yes, Madam Shololo.
Sorry, my lord, can I just confirm?
Okay.
So, my lord, may I-
Ngicela ukusho-ke umamsholo esakhuluma ummangalelwa wesihlanu lapho ukuthi kube naso leso sicelo esiqhamuka kuye ubaba umnisi ukuthi cha mina ngeke ngikwazi ukuthi ngiqhubeke ngoba phela-ke ngifuna zonke iy'thombe ebeyikhona lana ezizokwazi-ke ukuthi zingisize ukuthi ngikwazi ukuqhubeka ngaleli cala kodwa-ke umshushisi-ke wase uyacela laphana ukuthi ngeke sikwazi yini ukuthi sibheke ezinye iy'ngxenye mhlawumbe zale nqubo singanike ekutheni sibhekene ney'thombe kuphela wasethi-ke ubaba umnisi ngale-ke hhayi shuthi-ke mina-ke ngendlela-ke engizochubeka ngakhona ngiyayidinga lezo y'thombe kanti-ke ubaloyi wase-ke uyaqinisekisa-ke khona lapho ukuthi lezi y'thombe yikhona khona laphana ku-SAP 13 kanti-ke no uKenan noma ubaba uGeninda uyafonelwa-ke mayelana nalokho shuthi-ke soqhubeka uma ngabe lezo y'thombe seyikhona ingendlela-ke abayivikelayo bakhulume ngakhona-ke manje-ke inkantolo iyashoyo ukuthi nayo-ke ngenxa yokuthi nakhu-ke ubaba umnisi uthi angeke akwazi ukuthi aqhubeke kuyodingeka ukuthi leli cala lihlehle ukwenzela-ke ukuthi konke abakudingayo bakwazi ukuthola ucikisela leli cala phambili. Thank you, my lord.
Yes.
Thank you, my lord, for the indulgence of the court. My lord, I've also been I was informed by the state that there's a cell phone that was confiscated from my client. However, I have not been given downloads and the cell phone, everything
Yeah, it
relating
says-
to that.
Sorry, it says you'll give those during the recess.
Indeed, we did furnish them with a statement of the person who confiscated the phone.
As a court cases, my lord, similarly, my instructions are that from both accused number 1 and 2 phones each were confiscated from them, my lord. 2.
So you need both phones
We need
for each of your clients.
Indeed, so, my lord.
Mr. Although you have noted that. Okay, so we adjourn then until tomorrow, 10 o'clock.